You know, I've been to a lot of incredible places in the world. I've seen the Northern Lights in Iceland. I've seen the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland. I've been to a lot of amazing places, but today I think I'm standing at, in all of its glory, one of the most incredible that I've ever been to in my life. Milford Sound, New Zealand. I think if Mother Nature were an artist, Milford Sound would probably be her masterpiece. And sitting here, just looking out into this fjord here, it's just epic. It's wildly epic, and I can't help but feel wildly insignificant here. But I don't say insignificant in a bad, depressing way. I say insignificant in a very empowered way. It's kind of the same feeling. It's like I'm getting the feeling right now talking to you and just sharing this with you. I had chills here, sitting here for like 10 minutes. And it's kind of like when you get a clear night looking up at the stars and you feel, wow, that's incredible. How small my problems are, how small the bullshit is in my life, how small and insignificant any of the challenges that I'm facing in my life right now are, in the grand scheme of the cosmic arena. I feel like that here today, sitting on my own. Look around me, nobody here. My feet in the water, as you can see. I feel like that sitting here. Every challenge, everything, it's so insignificant. And I wanted to talk, I'm sitting here and I want to talk a bit about the game of life and how I see most of the world playing the game of life. We're born, most of us, and I'm not knocking anybody. This is so normal for so many people, and it was for me for a long time. Actually, right up until I started traveling and really discovering who I was. So many of us, including me, I used to be this way, we go through the game of life. We're born, and we're always racing to that next moment. We're born, we go to kindergarten, we go to grade school, but we're not quite ready to live yet. We have to go to middle school, and then high school, and then college, and if we do well enough in college, we work on getting a great job, and then getting a good degree so we can climb up the corporate ladder. By the time we're like 65 fucking years old, and by that time we go, now what? When does life start? It's not that life is too short, it's that we wait too long to start living. But we playing the game, life is a game. I think life is an art form. And we're the artists. But unfortunately, too many of us are too scared to play that game of life. And to be the artist in life. And to follow our passions and our dreams. Something that big, to pursue our big vision for life. To travel the world, to see amazing places like Milford Sound. Or even something as small as asking that girl out at the office, finally, that you've been wanting to ask out for 3 years. We're not playing the game of life like it's meant to be played. It's such a gift to simply be alive, to have this gift of life. And when we start seeing life as an incredible gift, that's when we can start playing life in a big way. It starts showing up powerfully in the world, man. Because at the end of the day, on our deathbed, we're going to look back on our life and we're never going to be happy that we didn't follow our dreams. We're never going to be happy that we said, I'm going to play it safe and go to Milford Sound next year. And then we keep saying next year, next year. I'm never going to be happy that I never asked that girl out. Fuck that, man. Life is an amazing adventure. And when we're engaged in that adventure of life, life becomes so enriching. Right? It's such a gift to be alive. It's such a gift. We are one, the sperm that won. We're the sperm that won out of millions and millions and millions of others. And we have the opportunity to sit here and bask in the sunshine and put our feet in the water and to communicate and to love and to be passionate about life. And we act like heaven or something else is some far off place in the future. And we act like we're going to get around to doing and living someday. Fuck, man, someday never really comes, man. And that to me is a sadness. That to me is such a sadness. If we keep saying someday I'm going to get around to living, we're going to find up and wake up one day and say, shit man, someday never came. Life is an art. We're the artists. Life is an engaging, beautiful adventure. Right? Life is sacred. And so many of us are going through life acting like it's not. For anybody who believes in God out there, maybe, what if when you died and you see God and God asks you, he says, how was heaven? What would you say? Because I believe that heaven, like that old song goes that I love so much, it's a guilty pleasure. Heaven is a place on earth. I believe that heaven is a place on earth. And it's up to us to start acting like it. And to start living deeply. Not just living wide and all that, but living deeply and passionately. And living like we mean it, man. Because life is way too important to live based on your fears and let your fears dictate your decisions. Life is way too important and way too precious and way too sacred to allow others' expectations to dictate the course of our lives. I believe that. I believe that so much. That's what I've made my living and my career doing. That's my purpose. It's my calling. But I want you to go out there and follow your purpose and your calling. And if you don't know what it is, pursue interest. Purpose is nothing more. I wrote a whole book on this, and I'll give you the whole thing right now. I'm so inspired. Purpose, you find it by being actively engaged in your interests and your passions. Okay, if your purpose is traveling the world like mine, or if your interests are traveling the world like mine is and like mine was before I found my purpose, that's how I found my purpose. Go travel the world. God, it's out there, and it's within every single person watching this. I've worked with hundreds of people around the world. I've talked and helped people for free. I've helped kids. I've coached amazing people. If you're an executive CEO to a kid that's wanting to discover his purpose, I've worked with cover the gamut, right? And there's purpose and there's a life of passion with every single person watching this video. Okay, every single person, I guarantee, right? Just a question for most of us in really stepping into our power. It's a little more difficult for some, I think, and overcoming some of our fears. And overcoming those expectations of what other people think we should and shouldn't do with our lives. You guys, if you got something out of this, I'm going to go enjoy this for the rest of the night. If you guys got something out of this, if you feel inspired, if you feel pumped up, share it with your friends. Alright? You guys, all the best. Be good, be awesome, be great. Love you guys so much. Awesome.